And here we go. We are live. We are live. Give them thumbs up, chime in, hit that like button and share. Let me know if you can hear your sister. If you can hear your sister, give me some hearts wherever you at. I'm just chiming people in, tagging people, sharing. Let everybody know that I'm on here. So hit that like button and share. Those who are just coming in, welcome to the Cynthia J Show. I'm your co-host, your girl, Cynthia J. Cynthia J. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Can anybody hear me on TikTok? Can anybody hear me? Let me know. Those who are on Restream Live, hit the thumbs up button and let your sister know that you can hear her. Let me see. And let's see. Mic check 1 2 1 2. If you guys are on here, let me know if y'all can hear me on here live. Hit that like button. Give me thumbs up. Let the sister see if she can hear herself. Because this social media stuff is not a joke. Sometimes you got to make sure everything is in tune. Even though you can be rehearsing, you still want to make sure everything is still in tune. So everybody let me know that if you guys can hear me, hit that like button and share. Those who are just timing in on Instagram, Restream, Facebook, Live, let your sister know you can hear her on here. Yes. Let me know if you can hear me on here. But anyway, welcome to the Cynthia J Show. I am your co-host, Cynthia J, your birthing doula, your herbalist, your inspirational healer, and psalmist, and so much more. I'm excited that you guys have tuned in today. Again, hit that like button and share. Let me know if you guys can hear me on the stream. Give me a wave, a hand clap, a thumbs up. Let me know that you can hear. Making sure I got all my volumes up here. Some reason my TikTok won't want to act silly. But anyway, we're going to go on ahead and start while I'm waiting for other people to chime on in. How was everybody week this week? I hope and know that everybody had a grand week. I know that everybody's week is amazing. Yes, you see the smoke in the background. That's trying to put in some good energy. I'm going to toast with some freshly orange juice for you guys on the podcast today. And it's good too. So get you some of them good old fruit and juice it, because you will be very amazed what fresh, organic, naturally grown juice will do for you and your skin. But anyway, how's everybody week this week? My week was amazing. I had some bumpy roads last week for those who just chime in. Great. Thanks for giving me a thumbs up. I was trying to see if my volume was working on my TikTok, guys, but I don't know if my connection is chiming in. So if you can give me another thumbs up to let me know you can hear me once I plug this in. Let me know if you can hear me on TikTok. Can you hear me? There you go. Let me know if you guys can hear me. But anyway, if not, then I'm going to unplug my device and get it started. But anyway, before I get started, if you guys haven't had a chance, again, like I said, share, hit that like button, subscribe. Let your sister know you can hear her. But anyway, we're going to go on today on episode 39. For those who are on TikTok, you're going to see that it's going to say pedophile on pedophile. But the topic really is a deep topic. And it's episode 39 dealing with, is pedophilian the common cause of forcing children to be sexualized in America? Is pedophilian a common cause for children? And is it being forced on children to be sexualized in America? That's a pretty deep conversation. So I don't know about you guys, but if you get a chance, y'all go ahead and hit that like button and share. And share this with somebody, because you'd be very amazed what's going on out there today. I came across a very, very deep another interview podcast, and this is something that really hit home. I really had to dissect this and really like dive deep into this conversation, this topic. Again, this is episode 39 with the Cynthia J Show. I'm your co-host, Cynthia J. For those who just chiming in, hey Teresa, hey Pedika. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. So please forgive me if I didn't. Thank you guys for joining in. The topic is pedophilian, the common cause of forcing children to be sexualized in America. And we're talking about stuff that's happening in America now because a lot of times people don't think about what's going on in America. They think about what's going on in other countries. But what happens in America is being traveled across seas too, and vice versa. So it's coming back and forth now more now than ever before. And as I was listening to one of the podcasts talking about, children and how things are being forced on the children, especially in public schools, and the music and cartoons and so forth. And I remember growing up, for me, you didn't really hear about it too much. I don't know about for some of you guys who are out there. I just know for me, you didn't really hear too much about the word pedophiles or anything like that too much. You knew that there was sexual abuse, that there were rape and so forth, things like that, in that nature, harassment, little things like that. But to be taken advantage of and being forced on with this particular, word and term slash what is now known as a name being pushed more now and talked about than ever before. Pedophilians, I call them, but those who are pedophiles, it is being forced, is being sexualized. As we noticed, if you think about it, it's being sexualized in so many areas in so many ways through child trafficking, because there are children being kidnapped and sell for the pleasures of those who, instead of just like girls, young girls being sexualized by just men, and women sexualizing boys, or vice versa, it is now a whole overall in all ways. Now you can put every term used out there and put it in one bucket or a box right now. And no matter which way we go with it, they all still fall under the category of those who are pedophiles slash pedophilians. And it's being forced. It's being forced in the schools. And I can say this, and I can bring my daughter on live, and it's something that my husband was telling me that I needed to do more often. And this is true. My daughter actually, her first time, this is her first year ever going public school here in America. Her first year, she was private and homeschool. Now, since she's been going to public school, she's had girls try to come on to her, try to force her, and telling her things and stuff that's going on elsewhere at home, and certain people who are relatives is being a certain way and act a certain way and so forth like that. And I'm like, wow, what? This is why it's very important. You just don't let your children just be any and everywhere, especially, without some type of supervision that is going to actually protect your children. And so it's a scary thing out here, but dealing with that and it being forced into the schools and public schools, again, I can't sit here and judge anybody, but I definitely can say as a parent, you should be very, very protective of your children and who they're around, even if it's family members. Now back in the day, you didn't hear it a lot, but you knew that molestation was a big thing. You didn't look at molestation and you didn't hear it that I knew of. I could be wrong. You guys may be right on those who were pedophiles. You just know that somebody molested them. And a majority of the time, I can definitely tell you a majority of my peers growing up were molested. Majority of the ones I knew were more guys than girls. And with that being said, now by it being forced and children being sexualized, children don't even realize they're being sexualized when their pictures are being taken on social media and then they're being tracked. They also don't know they're being sexualized. Like I tell this to my daughter or any other young generation out there, you have to be very, very careful And as a woman who loves the Lord, you don't hear these topics being talked about. Not saying that it's not talked about within the family homes, but topics like this need to be talked about and what to be watchful. You see now, like how you hear about the Catholic Church. If you think about it, the Catholic Church has schools, and it was being hidden and enforced behind closed doors. So these situations are occurring a lot. These situations are occurring so much that people are unaware of what's really, really going on out there. And they feel that if their children are out there, they're somewhere safe where they feel that they can just leave their child there and don't have to worry about anything. It's kind of hard to say now, even within your schools. They didn't realize that those who are pedophiles, they're turning around and some of them are parents with children. Hate to say it, some people don't even know it. Some of them are parents with children, and they're agreeing with the unisex of the bathrooms and stuff like that. And it's like the what was it? I was watching a short video, and this young lady was recording a guy pretending that he was a woman coming into the girls' bathroom. It was a public girls' bathroom at the public school, and he was making pretending, and it was during a game, and the kids and everybody in it was freaking out, like the girls was recording everything. So with that being said, that makes you wonder, you know, are your children safe? Because as a parent, you have to be extra precautious now, and I mean extra precautious out here to protect your kids because the stuff is being forced. Sometimes you're unaware that it's being forced through teachers. And some of the teachers you can do background check on. It doesn't matter if you're a teacher in public school, private school, a teacher somewhere else for seminars or whatever it can be, art classes, art museums, science museums, whatever. I mean, it's crazy. And so with that being said, we need to really, 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 as a people, learn from this. As a people, we need to pay attention to what's really going on with our children. And I definitely want to share a YouTube video. I'm gonna get up on here and share a piece to this YouTube video that really, took home. And this was a mother, and she is based out in California. Her name, everybody, for those who know, Angela King. She's very well known, very, very, very well known. Her life story, the things she encountered. I'm not sure if anybody can on TikTok can actually hear me with it, but I'm gonna go ahead and definitely try. Definitely try to play this recording. So let me go ahead and pull this up because this was very, very deep. Very deep. And what she states in this video speaks a lot. It's a lot in this one video that speaks a lot. Like seriously. And I definitely know. So y'all bear with your sister here. Hear in the background the music in the commercials. Let me go ahead and chime that commercial out. But yeah, you're gonna hear what I'm getting ready to play in just a few seconds on Angela. Her topic is dealing with, the alphabet. She called it the alphabet mafia, which was very deep, and I'm glad she called it that because a part of that also plays in the pedophilian. And some people wouldn't think that. Some people would not actually even believe that that has a major part to play in it, and it does. So, I love how she dissects and talks about they listed it as the alphabet mafia. And I love the way that they use that title, alphabet mafia. Like seriously. Didn't say the LGBTQ plus one or whatever else alphabet. I'm not even gonna try to bust my brain. I really am not. but I know that in this conversation is deep. So let me see if I can scroll, find that on here. Y'all bear with y'all sister real quick, because it's a lot of deep parts in here. Like seriously, she was hitting it on the nub. Okay, so I can make sure I get everything here, Chime. But we're gonna play a clip on that, and it's gonna blow your mind on a lot of the stuff that was talked about, and it still merges in with the pedophilian, issue being put on our children in our homes, everything. Like seriously, sexual predators, all of it plays a major part. All of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause this. Let me know, guys, if you can actually hear it once I get ready to get everything shared on here.
high rate of
Yep.
sexual abuse compared to the man kid thing, you know?
Well, I mean, it's just so much. I think that we've really dropped the ball when it comes to protecting our children because I
Mhm.
think in our generation, a lot of us were forced into silence. Sexual abuse is not something that's new or just start happening.
Nope.
Pedophiles is not something new or just start
Nope,
happening.
it's
Maybe we
not.
didn't use the pedophiles. Maybe we called them Uncle Charlie or Uncle Chester or whatever. But, they've been touching on children for a very long time. A lot of us were touched as children and were told for the sake of kinship to be quiet. It was swept up under the rug. In the black church, we've seen it happen and we've been told to be quiet and swept it up under the rug. And now what we see with this new LGBTQPIA plus children takeover is now happening in our government. And because we've been so used to just sweeping it up under the rug, we've been
Mhm.
conditioned to believe that this is something that's normal and none of us are speaking up. When in the world did we begin to identify children as a sexual preference? Because every letter under LGBTQIA is a sexual preference. Why?
Now y'all hear that? You said a sexual preference. And to me, that also there with the sexual preference goes to show that it is still being forced. So once it's being forced on the children anywhere they are at, then that's what they believe that they are. And that's because they're so used to that. And so I'm going to back it up a little bit to a part that we actually missed. I'm going to back it up to about 24 minutes here. Make sure I get it right. But this is some pretty deep stuff, guys. And my prayer is that anyone that knows anybody going through this, please be careful. Let me go ahead and play that real
In regards to the sexual predator thing, was it a teenager or a man? Because I
It
know
was it was my older cousin. It was a teenager. I was
teenager.
5.
So that's how far let me go. But anyway, that goes to show you on that part how, you know, being in a situation where there is a lot of pedophilian going on, you have to be really careful with your children. Like, seriously, everywhere, guys. Be careful with your children in restaurants. I saw another video where the parent actually saw what looked like he had to double look. This was the father. He had to double look and noticed that it was a guy dressed up as a woman coming in the bathroom where his daughter was at. Like, seriously, dressed up as a woman, going in the bathroom. I'm sorry, going in the bathroom. And then when he realized it, he went in there and he beat the crap out that guy. Can you blame him? I know I can't. So, with that being said, this is why it's very important that we really, and you hear me use that word a lot, really focus on your children because it is dangerous out here. I can say it is scary, but it is dangerous out here. Your children are in an area where you had to be really, really, really careful. Like, you got to be careful. Because these pedophiles out here comes in all shapes, sizes, forms, everything. I know you guys like, okay, what making her be on this topic? For those who just chiming in, I am your girl, your co-host Cynthia J on the Cynthia J Show every Thursday, starting last week at 7 p.m. Yes, we changed our time. Topics on episode 39. It dealing with is pedophilian the common cause of forcing children to be sexualized in America. Yeah. Because you have people out here who has an issue within themselves and don't see it as an issue. And they like it. Hate to say you seeing me smiling, but I'm not smiling at them. I'm smiling at the fact is that we've been dealing with this for all these years and it's only but so much being dealt with. Some of those who are pedophilians or pedophiles never even had a record. Do you hear that? Never even had a record. Are you hearing that? Never even had a record. They've been getting away with it so long. So again, remember, it didn't just start at home to be starting at home. It started at home because it was dealing with those who had been doing it in other areas before it hit the homes. It was starting in certain churches. Yeah. I was watching a documentary and I can't remember the name of this particular church, but it was somewhere past the Midwest, down south near Texas area, Arkansas, and it was a family that just moved in that area. They became a part of a church. They thought their son was going through something that didn't seem right, and they put him in this type of boys camp they thought was right, but it's supposed to be a Christian boys camp. And these boys were being tortured and forced in so many sexual ways that it was crazy. The same thing with girls. There are camps that's out here that we are unaware of, guys. That we're unaware of. Hidden places, hidden tunnels, hidden cabins. That's not even on a radar in most places. And they're getting away with this stuff. So then once they condition those type of individuals, then they put those individuals out here in the real world and then they start doing it to other people. Now it's being forced in so many different ways. You see it on TV. If you can't tell based off of a cartoon that is being forced through cartoons, then I don't know what else to tell you. But it's being forced. And this is the time right now that we put our foot down more now than ever before. Ever before. We cannot sit back. To my mothers, I have to hold us accountable first because we get comfortable with certain people and we don't pay attention to our intuition or our senses when it comes to our children. Then your children trying to tell you something and then they don't know how to tell you. They're scared to tell you because it's been programmed in them of something that had happened to them. And then that individual has put in them to not to tell you. But let me share something with you. You better sit down with your children so that your children will understand and understand and know what is right and what is wrong and to not be scared to come to you. Then when you teach your children what to look for, what to watch for, teach your children, especially to the young girls. Young girls should always know that you don't sit on no man's lap or you don't be a certain way around men at a certain age. To the boys, pay attention. Because like back in the day, I used to remember, like me personally, I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to always think it was weird during after a sports game, seeing guys and then it being done. I had it happen to me when I used to play ball. they smack you in your butt. They say, oh, that's just goodmanship. No, that don't feel right. If I knew that they was gonna, after a good game, smack me on my butt, I would turn sideways. That didn't feel right. I ain't even try. Nope. Didn't try. Didn't even attempt. If I saw your hand look like it was going down, I would turn. I would do a sideways matrix. Yes, a sideways matrix. Because see, in my mind, and even though some people's like, oh, it's not that serious, Cynthia. It wasn't that serious back then. But you don't know what the intentions are in certain individuals. Because on the outside, they can portray one thing the whole entire time. And you're not knowing that what they're doing is being forced. Until people start to accept it, then it's being sexualized. So come on. Come on. So for anyone that's out there, make sure that you are gaining the knowledge and the tools to let your children know how these predators are out here. These predators, these pedophilian predators are out here, and they're forcing it. They're forcing it through symbols. They're forcing it through, as the sister on here on this podcast was saying, for those who ever get a chance, definitely go online and look up and subscribe to I Never Knew TV, because they have a lot of things up there that need to be discussed about in your household as overall. I don't care what it is. It can help you in your workplace. It can help your children. It can help your family, individually, and your family wide traditionally. So, I mean, come on now. Just use it. Use the resources because it's out there. Anyone out there that's noticing that something is going on with the child, or they feel uncomfortable, or you sense something, use your gift of discernment. For real. But I had to get on us moms because sometimes we get too comfortable when it comes to these daycares. We get too comfortable when it comes to certain family members. And like I said, it can portray to be one way and be another. There was also a video that I came across on YouTube a while back where this boyfriend and his girlfriend, they had an apartment together, right? And he didn't know this. However, he was the one that once he noticed it, he noticed that his girlfriend was taking pictures of his child, naked photo pictures, and selling it. Naked photo pictures of his child. So it's not just men as pedophiles, it's women too. Naked pictures of his child. Can you imagine? You are in a relationship with somebody and you got an apartment together. Welcome for those who still joining in. Queen, Bestie, Misha, Beverly, welcome Eddie, welcome you guys. Go ahead and hit that like button and share. I am your co-host, your girl, your birthing doula, your healer, your inspirational, Cynthia J. The topic is on episode 39, dealing with is pedophilian the common cause of forcing children to be sexualized in America? Yes, it is. But back to the story, he was so hurt that he went and called the cops. He took her phone that she had. And the crazy thing is, this girl was crazy. She never even deleted it. Put it like this. He found the stuff in her phone and shown it to the police. So, for what I was reading, and it was done live. He went, let them know. The police showed up. She was laid out on the couch or something because she had a blanket. She didn't even know why she was being arrested. But they were arresting her. She has no clue why she was being arrested. Once they got her out of the house and about to put her in the squad car, that's when they told her. And she broke down and started crying. Yeah, she got caught. And it hurts because to see certain women even get involved in that, it's deadly. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous. It's very deadly. It's very sad because it lets you know as a people, you can't trust no one. I don't care if it's your own people. Sometimes you can't even trust them neither. Especially certain ones you got to watch. Their certain movement, their character. You got to really pay attention. You really got to have that sense. And to my brothers out there, stay, if you are a father and you about that life when you know what right is right and wrong is wrong, and you have never experienced any of this in your life with your children, please make sure you keep your young boys and your young girls tight by your side, because fathers, we need you. Any woman out here that say they don't need you is telling a lie. Because trust me, we need you. I don't care how angry and upset we get. We need you. We need you. Do you hear your sister here? We need you. We need you. With all jokes aside, because your sons need you. They need you because they are being attacked with this pedophilian stuff. Sometimes right in front of them and they don't even realize it. But you will realize, you'll recognize something. You'll notice something that's off. They may not catch it, but you will. You will catch it. You will notice it. And for those that's out there, if you are watching this video and you know that you're doing things that you should not be doing, and you don't care if you get caught, or you don't think you will ever get caught, trust me, to all those, and this is not putting a bold attack out there. No, I'm just letting you know. For all the pedophiles out here, molesters out here, I ain't even gonna try to figure out or try to send a solution to help you to stop. Because for some of y'all, you like the pleasure. You will be found and you will be caught. You will be found and you will be caught. I remember watching this old video, and it was this guy that was a pedophile, and he was out here doing some things, and this was an old movie. You know, back in those days, they didn't take those kind of pictures, but they had a little bit of those kind of pictures. And this guy would take pictures of his victims. He would capture them, blindfold them, molest them, and then let him go at a certain distance. And once one of them that he got was a black child, and by grace, this black child had the heart and the courage after everything she went through. This girl had been about 11. Can't remember the name of this movie. I need to find it. But if I find it, I definitely would you guys know. But this was like one of them B-rated movies. Wasn't like it was popular. But her father found this guy, and all I'm gonna tell you is that he was nowhere to be found no more. So yes, for the parents out there, don't be, look, to the fathers and the mothers, if you find out anything going wrong, you better put on your boots and start stomping. Put on your boots and start stomping. Have your, as Medea would say, your peacemaker, and let that peace be still. Grant peace to the maker. Grant peace to the maker. So with that being said, this is not a game to play with. It's not. It is not. And it hurts me to my spirit, to my soul, how I was wondering why I was feeling like something sticking me in my neck. Girl, but I had it down there. To my soul, how some parents don't realize that their children were in danger until when it's too late. When they're older, 18 years old, and you wonder why they having the issues they having, or they out here shooting up the schools or going killing people, or why, they are also, you're right. It's sad that people exist that do these things like this. It is sad because a lot of those who are like this, they wasn't just born like this. A lot of those who are like this is because it happened to them. It happened to them. And then it happened to them repeatedly. And nobody cared. In their eyes, nobody cared to figure it out. They can say, for the ones that, we've seen on TV, the stories we've heard. I know many of you guys used to watch Lifetime. Everybody know on Lifetime tells all real life stories that has occurred. And you hear what they say and they tell you, they couldn't stop. They didn't know how to stop because that's all they knew and they got a pleasure out of it. Others were just doing it because it was an emotional thing. It's so many things that are out here, and it's happening not just here in America now, but it's happening overseas, and it's starting to stretch wider and wider overseas, and then it's coming back this way again. You'd be very amazed at what's been done over here by the pedophiles. They're doing it over there. Like, seriously. I was watching this documentary with my husband for people who live in like places like the like Mexico, El Salvador areas, Panamanian areas, certain Caribbean areas, and the young boys are being sexualized for prostitution by pedophiles. They'll give them a picture and then they'll sexualize them that way, or the boys just decide to do it because that's their way of living means. And it's crazy because it's worse over in certain, low poverty areas, especially, off the coastal of the waters, because you have a lot of travelers, and some of them travelers are pedophiles. Some of them travelers are pedophiles, and they go across there and they're doing that. Yep, parents, parents know they just don't care. You know what? You're right about that too. Some parents know and just don't care. It's like when I be listening to my sister when she tells me what goes on in the transportation area with some of the parents, and they know they short on buses, and you can explain everything in detail to the T. You can dot your I's, cross your T's, and them parents still ain't listening. They don't care. All they know is about I gotta go get money. I gotta pay for roof over their head. That's all they know. They don't care. They don't even care to even some of them don't even care to homeschool their kids. People just having kids out here and don't care. You're right. Children are not a priority in the Black community. Well, it depends on what we classify as Black community. Are we classifying the Black community as a whole or in certain places? Because you can be in certain areas and they do, while in other areas they don't. It's just like, dealing with a lot of stuff that's in California. And California always had laws and all that crazy stuff passing before any other. And over there now, with all the stuff that's going on, after they passed that law for if your children want, I can't remember the actual name of the law, but if your children decide to want to identify themselves a particular way and the parents stop them from that, then the parents get into trouble for that, get charged for that. I'm like, are you kidding me? But now parents there are homeschooling their kids more now over there than anything. Like, seriously, they're pulling their kids out of the schools and homeschooling their kids now. Even if they're a single parent home in a tough neighborhood, they're pulling them. But I will agree with as a Black community, we don't have them big mamas. We don't have the OGs like that. They gotten soft a little bit. We don't have, Big Daddy. It's so many of them that actually held the foundation, that held the ground, and you don't see it and you don't hear it anymore. Those were the people that actually was there for you, that stayed on you for everything. I've been hearing a lot of school staff, teachers, and professionals from other careers getting arrested. Yeah, that has been a major thing. I don't know. I'm with you. I've been coming across that a lot, especially here where I'm at. Especially here where I'm at. You might hear about 3 here, and then in the other county away from me, it'll be like 10. And some of them are other cultures besides Black communities. There'll be other, ethnic backgrounds is doing it a lot more, like the Hispanics and stuff like that, which is crazy. Let me make sure I got this right. Actually, I was saying now is exactly gotten better because in parts of Black families did nothing. Yes, that is true. In certain parts of the Black family, they did do nothing. They did. They really did. You know, and now that they're aware of it, because again, we didn't have names for them. Some of them didn't know, and like this sister was saying on YouTube, she was saying back in the day they called him probably like Uncle Charlie or something like that. They didn't have the name pedophile out there like that. And a lot of the pedophiles are also LGBTQ. And I'm not even gonna try to figure the rest, the alphabet out. Don't, for anybody that's on here, don't take it personal, but that's just, I mean, I gotta be me. I'm not even gonna try to figure it out. I'm gonna stick to the original English language and the original letter formation that I was taught. I ain't even gonna go. That's a whole nother topic. But anyway, it's even happening there because now you have those who are pedophiles who are, they say, the alphabet people. It's so much going on. It's not even crazy. Yep, especially in the so-called good old days, we shouldn't romanticize the good old days. That is the truth. Romanticize the good old days. Hey, some of the good old days taught you lessons. Always remember that. Don't look at life as a regret. Look at life as lessons. Because now that we know, what we didn't know back then, we know now. We know now, brothers and sisters, those who are on Instagram or stream live and Facebook, we know now there are life lessons. So don't regret on stuff anymore because you can't beat yourself about it. But what we can do now is to save our kids, to save our generation, to save, the girls, because it's crazy. Yep, little girls don't need a lesson in molestation life. It is, I don't know who that is. Let me make sure I got that right. Sorry, guys. Somebody was coming in. Little girls don't need a lesson in molestation life. Is not all that is cracked up to being. Oh no, I never said that little girls need lessons. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm talking about as parents, let life teach you the lessons from what, prime example, like I was just saying, what we knew of the names to be called back then, which we didn't know the names that they use now. It probably was using back then. We just didn't catch it. But if you are a person who's been molested and you still haven't healed from it, definitely get with someone that even if it's a family member, somebody that's really close that you can talk to about. Because I'm gonna tell you, we had some of that in my family, even in my husband's family. And the thing is that the individual now is an elder. But one thing she told me, and I love her. She's my heart. She's one of our aunties. She said, what happened to me, I don't want to happen to someone else. So I'm learning now to make sure you speak up. This is her life lesson. Now I'm going to jump on that part. This is what she said that she learned as a life lesson. Everyone that goes through it, the turnout is different. It's never the same, guys. Some people actually are damaged completely. They have no way of coming back. Another one, I can't see the positivity in life if people are being abused and molested. I can't do it. I was molested. Oh, I didn't tell my mom until 13. I found out about a lot of the females getting molested in my family. Yeah. Yep. You'd be very amazed. You'd be very amazed. I definitely gonna use my husband as an example. He didn't know any of the stuff that happened in his family, especially with like aunts and cousins and things like that. When he found out about it, and the craziest thing, and if my family's watching this, they're gonna be probably upset, but hey, it's the truth gotta come out. This ain't no Monique or nothing like that, but this is to protect us. And if we notice someone in our family who has issues of that kind of thing, who has that type of that low vibration in them to go out here and molest people, that somebody would catch it before it happens, or if it's already been happening, that you nip it in the bud now. But like I was saying, one of the aunts had been molested, had been raped before, and like with my husband, when he found out some of the things, he was angry. He was like, "Well, where were the men? Ain't nobody beat nobody down. Ain't nobody stumped nobody down." So like you said, when you're young, you don't talk about these things. Do you know, sister, as somebody who myself, I had never been molested, but I was taken advantage of at a teenage age by someone that I really cared about, who was only 3 years older. And still, I didn't say anything, neither. I didn't even tell my mom until I got older. We all been through something, but just know that everybody's situation and everybody's spirit journey of who they are, because remember, you are a spirit being. What I mean to use the word spirit journey, you are a spirit being, and depending on where you're at in your life, some are just damaged of no return. I have an amazing sister, Prophetess White, who is a woman who chases after God's heart. She has been through it all. You name it, she's been through it. But when we get around each other, the fire I feel from this woman, you would have never, and I mean never, you would have never even known she'd been through something. Some people find their way out because they don't let their situation be their final destination. Some people find a way to heal instead of bandaging the wounds. Some people accept the things they cannot change, but they can become a new creature and heal themselves. That's why you see a lot of the videos up here with the shadow working and all of that that's going on. I don't have anything against it. Other people may. However, it's another way for you to write out what's going on in you and finding a way how to heal from it. My love goes out to you. I definitely pour my heart to you for more healing, sister. I love the fact that you are up here sharing your situation, and just know that your situation is also a testimony for others to remind themselves that, hey, you're not alone. Get out of this situation. Don't stay in this situation. Don't let nobody not know. Protect the next one. Even my one of my spiritual sisters, she had the situation happen to her. And matter of fact, we're partners in birthing doulas. We're co-owners of Healing Hearts Tailor Made Doula. And with her situation, she learned how to come through it. It didn't happen overnight though, guys. Trust me. Didn't happen overnight. But when she made it through, she made it through. And when this person had died, before this person had died, she had told them and confronted them and let them know and stop other situations from happening. Others end up in the same pattern because nobody comes in to stop the situation from happening to the next generation. Because one of those pedophile molesters can be molesting your cousin, and then that individual can do the same thing to the next generation coming after. If it does not get stopped and nipped in the bud, it will never be handled. It will never be handled. That's why it's very important. Protect our young men, protect our young women. Because remember, their mind, body, and spirit, and their heart, everything together can be broken. It's just a snap of a finger. That's why I'm so protective with my daughter. I told her, she'd be like, "Oh, mommy, I want to go. My friend's having a sleepover, such and such and such." I'd be like, okay. She keeps begging for sleepovers. And I'll be looking at her like, because you got pedophiles. You can't tell when a person is a pedophile. Yes, I'm talking to you, young lady. You want to join in? No. Uh-huh. That's my daughter. You know I'm talking about her. But like I told her, I said, you don't know. You don't know. You don't know. They can be smiling like me and don't even know that they like that. So you have to be very careful who your children go to. I don't care if it's a family member, church member, Boys and Girls Club member, whoever. Be careful. Pay attention. Read their body language. All of the above. It is necessary. Yes, ma'am. I mean, we live if you like to join. But people get mad. People get mad at me because I don't let my kids go with anyone. And I question my kids and I teach. Thank you. I do the same thing with this one here. She's standing right beside me. You want to say hi? She said no. But anyway, I told her all the time, I said, 'cause she's very developed for her age, which by the way, her birthday is next month, and I'm excited for my miracle blessing. Would you like to join in? You want to peep your head and say hi to everybody? Yes, this is my little one here. So you get to see her live. Next time I'll probably have her up here actually joining in with one of our lives.
I don't know about that.
Uh-huh. But anyway, I do the same thing. I always make sure, and she gets mad at me. Trust me, I'm with you too. I'm with you too. She gets mad, but she will be all right because I and her father and I are protecting her from herself first for falling short in case she doesn't pay attention. But one thing I will say is she's very protective of other kids. She do see things. Like one of her friends was on the phone or whatever, and she heard from somebody else, and they was talking about a grown man, especially ever since the roadblock incident. The roadblock incident with a 11-year-old girl was kidnapped and stuff. I know you guys probably heard about that. And these predators, they getting smart. They doing them on video games too, guys. That's why kids got to be very careful what they put up there. I told my daughter when she started getting interested in all these little games, because she's a gamer just like her daddy, I told her, do not put your real name. Don't be taking a whole bunch of pictures. Don't be doing any of that stuff. Because they are out here seeking and they selling your pictures. And then before you know it, they're trying to trace to see where you live at. There's some kids that thinking that it's actually kids on these games. And I'm telling you, these pedophiles got the devices to disguise their voice, steal somebody else's identity to disguise who they really are, making you think that they're your friend. And then the next thing you know, your kid is being swiped. It was another a 9-year-old I think it was this past week, 9-year-old girl. Last time she was seen, the camera showing she got her backpack on, going to school. Never seen again. These pedophiles are rapists and kidnappers too. So it doesn't matter which way they are forcing them. Yep, they were on Peppa Pig and Kids YouTube too. Yep. You got it right. I read that Disney was full of perverts. Come on now. Speak. Yes, they are. Disney. And I know you guys have been paying attention, especially in Disneyland and what's the other theme park? Sesame and all that. The pedophiles used to be in their costumes and things like that. And now they got a case where a lot of Black families are still taking their kids out there and their kids being discriminated or whatever else. But that's a little off the topic. But the majority of those people that was rocking those costumes were pedophiles. And you're right, Disney Channel. I was scrolling through Disney one day, and a few of the stuff just disappointed me. Disappointed me to the teeth. Because it's not just just the pedophiles alone, because the pedophiles are some of them are really LGBTQ. again, hate to say it, no offense to those who are in that, alphabet, but you have people that is in there and they're just using it and they're doing whatever they want to do behind closed doors, even if you are not that kind of LGBTQ kind of person. They're hiding behind the alphabets and they're there. And Disney is one of them, and Disney Plus and all of them. It's getting so bad. You're starting to see it on Netflix next. No, it's probably already on there. I don't even be on there. I don't even be watching TV that much. TV be watching me. But I always make sure I stay afloat. But I definitely would tell you that you have to. Oh, it is? What happened? Netflix got it too. Yeah, my daughter told me Netflix got it too, guys. See? And this little blessing of mine will be 11 next month. I'm so excited. Keep her in prayer, guys. But she's letting me know that's in there too. So with that being said, be careful. I believe I'm gonna have a podcast one day when I'm gonna have my daughter up here give advice for kids her age and for the parents what to look for, what to talk about, what not to do, etc., that comes with it, and actually make it where you get to hear it from a kid's point of view. A kid's point of view. Because adults, we know what's going on, but we're not exactly inside of what our kids' environment are now. But the pressure is serious over them now than what it was when we were growing up. Yep, and it was said that the kid celebrates are getting molested or have gotten molested. Oh, celebrities, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, celebrities. Look like I said celebrate. My bad. Yes, some of them have. Because who they entrusted. Some of these parents had nannies, butlers, and still relatives that lived in the house with them, molesting their own kids. Yeah, that is so true. Some of them, as celebrities, had their children being molested, even by, like, let's say, back in the day, you had a lot of them were dancers in ballet and things like that. Yeah. And then their coach or dancing instructor, acting instructor, whoever it was, would say, I'll give them a ride. Give them a ride home. Yes, they were doing that. It makes it very hard and very tough to rely, because even if you're a single parent, and this goes out for single parent mothers and single parent fathers, when you're a single parent, it's tougher because you need the extra hands of help. You need it. And with that being said, as much as we need it, you still got to make sure that you checking on your kids. Because even when my daughter was at any relative house, anything, I would call her. She used to be so embarrassed me asking her this. And I would say, are you okay? Anybody try to touch you in your private areas? Like, mommy, that's gross. No, I want to make sure you're okay. I need to make sure you're okay. Did anybody try to touch you in your private areas? Or did anybody try to have you touch their private areas? Anybody try to kiss you? Anybody try to watch you? All kinds of stuff. And she would always say, ew, mommy, ew, that's gross. No, ew, gross to you. But now ew, gross to your mama. She trying to make sure you are covered and protected. So yes, that is so necessary to make sure that you are talking to your kids. And some of these celebrities, I don't believe that they were actually talking to their children. They were too busy trying to live that lavish life, and they probably figure, okay, my child has everything they need, everything they could ever ask for, everything they could ever want. And then they say, okay, well, they don't show no sign. Just because your child shows no sign does not mean they're not going through. Some kids just get wilder. Other kids just get quiet and look like they lost. Some kids just have behaviors and stay in trouble. When I said when you heard me at the beginning say wilder, I mean like just be like a little fast butt. While others have behavior issues, getting in trouble, taking things, whatever it may be. And so with that being said, you don't know what you're gonna get out the cookie jar, but as a parent, you should be watching your kids. You should be watching your kids. And again, I give kudos to all single moms and single dads who still have it hard too. Not saying that both parents that's in the house don't have it hard. They do too. Depends on your area, where you live at, where you're from, the environment, all of that. It all depends on that. And so again, make sure you and your family are in a healthy environment. Make sure you and your family are sitting down and going back to the good old days when you can sit at the dining room table and have a family discussion. Even though it might feel weird to them. Hey, how are you guys today? What did y'all do new? Anything we need to know? Anything you want to talk about? Anything that's been on your heart that you may feel embarrassed to discuss? Or do you need to discuss it one parent at a time? Or do you feel comfortable with your dad? Or do you feel comfortable with your mom? Because some kids, one could be feeling comfortable with dad and the other could feel comfortable with mom. Having the talk. Because kids hold a lot in. And when they become adults, you don't know what they're capable of doing once they're adult, how it's going to go. You really don't. So definitely know that a lot of kids that are being forced and sexualized by pedophiles in all areas through the LGBTQ TQ community, even through the straight heterosexual community. I don't even want to say that because the pedophiles really, yeah. But anyway, pedophiles still pretend that they're heterosexual and they're not, so they're disguising and hiding. Every pedophile is hiding behind a term to try to keep the target off of them, point blank. And some just straight up about it. They don't even care. But when you see these things happen, or you hear about them, or you know of a child that's going through, try to even teach your kids to be there for friends that know that are going through stuff. Because one thing I can definitely say, my daughter, she comes back and she tells me a lot of things about certain people. At one time, she was having a tough time. After a few weeks getting into public school, because it was a big transition from being private homeschooling in public. But as she started realizing why some of the kids was acting a certain way to her, it's because they were going through something themselves. And then one of them opened up to her. And I had to tell her, I said, honey, most of the time, kids' behavior are a way that it is because they're going through something and nobody is listening, or they have nobody to really open up to that they can trust. You have to be a light for your friend. So with that being said, have your children to be out here, be a light for someone that might need some help and guidance. But I'm not going to hold you up on here, guys. Just make sure that y'all tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 a.m. GMT plus one time right here in the USA, in the big VA. For those in the VA area, give your sister Cynthia J a shout out, love. If y'all have never listened to my music, please, you can go in my bio, click on there, listen to some inspirational music that would encourage you, inspire you, that will have your faith stretch. I know the kids love my first album called Stretch Your Faith by Cynthia J. They love that. The college kids were playing it. So many things. And they said it encouraged them. My daughter definitely was promoting it for me, as well as my husband. But the kids definitely are saying it's an encourager. It pushes them. It strengthens them. And so for those, again, if you have anyone that you know that you love that has been experiencing molestation, being a target by those who are pedophilians, please, 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 please reach out, you can reach out to me. You can find my information in my platform, in my bio. I will definitely send you to a few people that I know. Definitely one of my sisters I've mentioned already on this live, Prophetess September White. She is definitely a survivor of abuse and other things as well. She has helped those who've been abused, who've been molested. She has helped a lot. And so, with that being said, you guys hit me up anytime. Again, share this with some family members that you know going through so they can have somebody to reach out to. To my brothers out there, I salute you. I thank you to all my brothers who are sharing this, with the sisters out here who need to hear it, for single moms who need to hear it, for single fathers who need it. So many of you guys, I thank you guys. I thank y'all for being my encouragers, my influencers, my pushers. You drive me. For those who don't want to see me do better, I still love you. For those who question what I'm doing, I still love you. Just know that I am doing with the divine within me that I am, that I said that I am, is pushing to reach the people, to help heal souls, to help heal hearts, to help heal the mind, the vibrations, and so much more in you. If you know of anyone who's looking for a birthing doula, you can hit me up. My information is still in my bio, connected to me and my sister, Tasha Anderson Perkins, with Healing Hearts Tailor-Made Doula. You definitely, if you're looking for a doula to help you during your process at the beginning to the end, reach out to us. We right in the northern DMV area. And also, if you lose a lost treasure, that means you lost your baby during your pregnancy, and you still need some inspirational and spiritual counseling, or you need someone to help you around your home to still be there, some companionship, please still reach us. We're still there for you. If you need some inspirational healing or meditations, we're here. So many other things. We do massages, Reiki, all the above. So with that being said, I thank you guys on TikTok, on Instagram, on Stream, Facebook Live, everywhere for joining in. It is always a pleasure to love with you, to love on you, to embrace you, and to just be your sister right here on the Cynthia J Show. So you guys be blessed today. Stay lovable and just love on somebody today. Tell them you love them. Give your children a hug and kiss. Tell your husband you love them. Just love on one another with real, genuine love.
A journey to fulfill.